yeah, back in your country, yeah, they used to fight. They was the undefeatable. You couldn't defeat them.
Yeah.
You understand?
No, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he said they used to fight and gather the spoil together. That's how we know we're from Benjamin. And it says we will be in the havens of the islands of the sea. You understand? We've got Judah, the head tribe, the American Negro, because it said that Judah would be at the head of the tribes. Yeah? And that's what's happened. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Muhammad Ali, they're all Judites. They're at the top. You understand? Because who comes from Judah? The one they call Jesus Christ. He's the head tribe. So Judah's going to be the head. Even though Reuben was the firstborn, but he slept with the father concubine. He lost that. Yeah? He lost that head. Went to Judah. The Haitians. You see what's happening to them on the border of America now? Well, you got to realise they're the poorest country in the world. Why do you think that is? Because they're the Levites. They're God's priests. Moses was a Levite. Aaron and Moses were the only ones who can go into the holies of the holies. That means where the Ark of the Covenant is. They're the only ones who could touch it. Did you ever hear the story when they was carrying the Ark of the Covenant and it was going to fall and a man touched it to hold it up to stop it from falling? He got put to death. Even though he was trying to stop the Ark of the Covenant from falling, he touched it and got put to death. This is how serious the Levites are. That's why the Haitians are at the lowest of the low. Because they used to administer God's law to us. Levites never had no land. They was amongst us. We had to go to them to get all the answers from God. So this is how we know who these people are. You got the Puerto Ricans. Back in the day, we've got a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom. Do you know about Rehoboam and Jeroboam? Solomon had a son called Rehoboam. And Jeroboam was the king of the northern kingdom, the Hispanics, so-called Hispanic tribe. Because we've got 12 tribes, remember. Puerto Ricans all the way down to Mexicans. Because when you go to Mexico, they've got pyramids built the same dimensions as the one in Egypt, ones we built. So all it was now, when we got separated during the...
They were pagans.
Huh?
They were pagans.
No, they were Israelites, but then they took on pagan customs. That's why God sent over the conquistadors over there to kill their ass. You understand? He told us to keep his laws. It's all about why we went down, is because we didn't keep God's laws. He gave it to us, he didn't give it to nobody else. And when we broke them, he said, right, I'm going to put you under whatever nation was ruling at that time, whether it be the Greeks, the Medo-Persians, the Babylonians. We went under Nebuchadnezzar, we went under Darius and Cyrus. Now we're under these so-called slave masters. Yeah. What does Christian mean? No. Christian comes from a Greek word. No, Christian comes from a Greek word, Christos. It means the anointed. Yes, we are the anointed ones. That's what it means. It's just a Greek way of saying it. Yeah? We say Mashiach, our language would be Mashiach. That's how you say the anointed. That's our mother tongue.
So you're Christian.
We are the real Christians.
So you're Christian.
We are the real Christians. This is a modern day term because it was what it was when the Romans coined us Christians. Because when it was, they said, look at those Christians, those anointed ones. But first they said it as a mockery, right? Because we was the ones, we was the gladiators fighting in the arenas, just like today. So Dante Wilder didn't put up a good show.
Say those
You know what I mean? But we had the Mike Tysons and the Muhammad Ali's and the George Foreman.
Reading out of the modern Christian book.
No, what it is, this has been translated from the scrolls.
Yeah, and then on the front of it, it says most of it's been made up.
Where does it say that?
It says it in the front of the
It doesn't say it's
Bible.
not made up, it's been inspired by God.
Would they say don't take it for word? If it says it in the front, don't take it.
No. I don't know what Bible you're reading. What it is, they've got you
The
fooled.
King James Bible.
Yeah, but they've got you fooled. It's not in this one, put it that way. I don't know what one
Every
you've been.
Bible, it tells you this
Alright,
Bible
let
is
me
not
give you the Bible.
100% facts.
Show me.
It tells you on the
No,
front.
show me. I've never seen that in 100 years.
Every
What you've got to
King
realise
James
is,
Bible,
this is why they told us these things, to keep us away from it. This is our constitution.
Colour methods, words
Yeah.
of Christ, inspirational messages, the personal word from Reverend Chris, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He's an African guy
Yeah.
who's
Now I'll just get to the point where it says that every word in it. Because I'll show you a scripture where it says every word of God is pure.
Listen, look, the Bible text used in the edition of this Rhapsody of Reality study Bible is King James Version, all rights reserved, copyright law, context, produced, whole part and form, and permission from publishing. This is just a publishing thing.
No, but where's the part where you said that you can't believe every word of it? Because it says in there, why would God give a book for inspiration, right, and say that every word is pure?
No, because what happened, when these texts got took to Hebrew, to King James, he changed some words, and some words he didn't put in.
Yeah, do you know why? Do you know why? Because when you speak Hebrew, it's more, you can't get Hebrew words, some of them for the English, because Hebrew is a powerful language.
Basically, full translation, words have been changed.
Some words get lost in translation. Right, that's what he said.
I believe something has been changed in one of
it's not been changed, it's all it is.
It's a known fact, my friend.
Oh, here we go, man. Brother, you're not understanding, man.
Yeah, but
it's a word of God.
My friend,
go on.
What I'm going to say to you is, your deliverance is spot on. Don't get annoyed.
No, I'm not getting annoyed. I don't get annoyed. I'm not getting annoyed. I can't get annoyed with my brother. This is my brother. I don't get annoyed. I'm passionate. I'm passionate about what. I'm passionate about what it is. Yeah, it's my passion. Well, it is. I want him to understand. Do you understand?
You see, alright, because I know about Christian and I know about Muslim. My son's a Muslim, and I know the Quran is translated straight from God. Yeah, the Bible is not translated straight to God. So there's other people who interpret it like Paul Matthew and John.
I've got the Quran here.
So it's basically just like a diary, basically. It's not the word of God.
Who told you that? Let me show you something. What's this? What's this here? Let's see what the Quran says about it. Listen.
Well, I know the Quran is from the word of God.
Let's see what the Quran actually says.
I know Christianity and I know Muslim. So I know both sets of people.
Let's see what the Quran says about what you're just saying.
Me, I go speakers corner and all them things. So today in the and the debate, I didn't really get it. Yeah, that's what it is.
Right, this is what Quran says. It says that respecting God and that the Bible is nowhere near whatever, the Quran, yeah? What are you saying about the Bible?
What I said about the Bible is misinterpreted.
And the Quran is not, yeah?
No, because the Quran's straight from...
Now let's see what the Quran says. Let's see if it says what it says. This is Carol 22, and it says, Children of Israel, remember how I blessed you and favored you over other people. So where would we find the children of Israel?
No, I think the children of Israel, they didn't have a place, did they?
Would you find it in the Quran or the Bible? No, well, I'm asking you, would you find it in the Quran or the Bible?
Children of Israel?
Yeah.
Would be in the Bible.
Right, so why is the Quran saying children of Israel?
It's got Jesus in it as well, you know.
Hold on.
It's got loads of people.
It says children of Israel.
Moses in it.
I don't think it's got it. I don't think it's got it. Children of Israel, remember how I blessed you and favored you over other people. And it says here, and beware of the day when no soul can stand in for another. So, according to the Quran, this is the Quran reading, the children of Israel have been blessed over Ishmael, Moab, over all the nations. And that's out of the Quran.
But that still didn't answer my question about the Bible.
Yes, I'm going to show you in the Bible now. What I'm going to show, I'm going to go to the Bible now, I'm going to show you. This is Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
I
Now,
understand
where's
what you're
Israel
saying.
and the Islam going
The
there?
people, what I'm talking about is the actual book, what you're reading out.
Reading it, yeah, it just said it. It just said the same
People,
thing.
it's okay, yeah, I can understand that they're Israelites, they're the chosen people, but all I'm talking about is that King James book. I wouldn't really trust that King James book.
But you would trust the Quran?
No, because it's come straight from... I probably would, yeah.
Okay, so
Probably would.
do you know what? Do you know what makes this ratifies this book? Prophecy. Do you know what prophecy is?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
What does it mean?
Prophecy means like they say things in it and it happens.
Right.
Well, everyone
So
can
can
do
you find?
that. Not
Okay.
done that.
I just read it. I remember I read to you about slave ships. How long was this book written? 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, but they had
It
slaves in
predicted.
that time, in 2,000 years.
2,000 years ago, I predicted we were going to slave ships. We were going to the cargo
They were
slave
running
ships.
slave ships at that time.
No.
At the same time.
But you got to realise, in
See,
Egypt,
the Romans made that book.
prove
See,
it.
the
Prove
Romans,
it.
they
Oh, here
converted,
we
they
go.
were pagans,
Oh, man.
Romans.
Jake
and then
ain't gonna
they
get it,
converted
man.
to Christianity. Where was that guy who made Sunday, what was his name? Some Roman emperor.
Bro, the Bible
Constantine.
says, listen, let me read you a
Yeah.
scripture.
He switched up the thing, and then they were battling over Trinity. I'm at home every day studying this stuff as well. You know.
You ain't studied too
Study
well,
it
my
all
brother.
day long. So I know history, I'm good with history, and where it came from. It's the
where did it go?
Romans who made Christianity a big thing as today. It's the Roman Constantine. Yeah? He's
Was
the one who
Constantine
made
a black guy or white
Sunday,
guy?
Wednesday, Friday the Sabbath, and all that.
Ask me
kind
if
of
Constantine was a black guy or white guy.
I can't really tell you.
So he's a black guy.
But a Roman was a Roman. To me, a Roman
Was not
a
Paul?
pagan.
Was not Paul?
They were pagans at
Oh,
first.
there we go. Was
Romans,
Paul a
weren't
Roman?
they?
Was he classed as a Roman? Paul.
Well, they were pagans, weren't they? Romans.
Was Paul a Roman?
I don't know. I couldn't
It
tell
said
you.
he was a Roman citizen. To be a citizen, are you an Englishman? Are you a British citizen?
Yeah, but
It's the same thing as
Yeah.
Paul. Paul was a citizen, but he was a Benjamite. He's from the
I
church.
think a Roman is saying that's where it's from. It's not like that's his heritage. It's Roman, isn't it? Roman, that's his heritage. Yeah. And what is his heritage? You are. Me, I'm British. My heritage is Jamaican.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see your point.
You see what I'm
So
saying?
he's taken the place of rest to be the man.
Yes, don't go like that.
Don't go like
No,
that.
you are who your father is. If I was born in McDonald's, would I be a Big Mac?
Nah, that's
So you can't go by
silly.
where your place is. Do you understand? It's who your father is. You have your heritage. That's why we come from Jacob. You understand? When they say we're Jamaican, I was explaining to you, what does Jamaica mean?
Jamaican, that was the Arabic word.
No. What does it mean? Every word's got a meaning. Jamaica's got a meaning.
I can tell you.
It's kind of the land of wood and water.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Right, so are you wood and water people?
Well, it's describing the people what we're living there, isn't it? That's what it's describing, isn't it?
Okay, it's a place called Wood and Water. Yeah, Jamaica's a place called Wood and Water.
Yeah.
So are you a wood and water person?
They're
So
describing
obviously
the people
that
what
is
come
not
from
who
there,
you are. Yeah, but it doesn't determine who you are.
Yeah.
All right then, if you're Jamaican, how did we get there?
I'm not Jamaican. I'm British.
Okay. All right then. Where was you born?
I'm born in Britain.
Okay. Your parents from Jamaica. Yeah.
That's my
So-
heritage.
Right, your heritage is Jamaican. So you're English then.
Nah, I'm British.
So you was born here, so that would make you English, wouldn't it?
Not really, because the Englishman has to be a white guy.
So that's a bit confusion now. Now you're
Not
confusing
really,
me.
Not really.
Yeah, because
Not
it is.
Check it.
Not really.
Hold on, bro.
No, because what you said, what the point you're trying to make now, right? is
Yeah.
Because he said that he was born here, which makes him a British subject.
No, it's not a subject. He
That's
said
what
where you
racist-
are where you're born.
That's what racist
He didn't not say he said where you're born. You see what I mean? So if he's born here, that would make him an Englishman then, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah,
Not
really.
really, because an
What?
Englishman is a description of someone. It's a description.
All right, then, so who are you then? What is
I'm
your...
a British guy that lives in lives in England of Jamaican heritage, I'd say.
So what is your, alright, we just
I wouldn't
established.
say I'm Jamaican, I wouldn't say that.
Alright. Who are you really then? Because you're not English, you're not British, really, you're not Jamaican.
Well, that's what the
Who are you?
racists, that's what white racists say. That's what white
What do you mean?
racists
What do you
say.
mean?
They say you're not British, you're not this, you're not that.
What
That's
are
the
you then?
same thing they say.
And what are you then?
Well, to me, I'm British.
What are you? No, what is your lineage? You got to go by your lineage. Who are you?
Me, I'm
Yeah.
a British black man
Oh,
living in England
Alright,
today.
I'll ask you, what's your
Yeah.
lineage? Because you ain't going to get nowhere with this.
My lineage is, my father's Jamaican, which makes me, that's how I knew it. Right?
Right.
That's how I knew it.
Right,
So that
because he's
I'm-
going by his lineage, yeah?
I'm a Jamaican.
Okay, right, so we established
You're not
Jamaican.
Jamaican unless you was born there, my friend.
So here we go, look, he doesn't know what he's talking about, bro.
So
what I just told you, if you was born, you're going back on it now.
Can
If I was born in
Yeah.
McDonald's, would that make me a big
No, that's
man?
a silliness, though.
No, it's not. It's showing you.
McDonald's,
What
that's
it's
a
showing you is
reference.
that you're not where you're born. If I was born on a bus, would that make me a busman?
All right, what I'm trying to say, all right, look what I'm trying to say. If you was
Jake,
born
man, he's
in
all messed
Jamaica,
up in his head, bro.
you'd have the Jamaican mannerism, you'd know what I mean, yeah? It's like
the point that we're going around here is the definition of land,
Right.
where you come from. That's what we're talking about.
Right, no, I'm talking about, I don't go by where I'm come from. I go by my father, my lineage.
All right, okay.
My lineage, my father, all the way back
where
to
did
these
they
guys.
come from then?
12 tribes of Israel.
Yeah, but
Jacob,
they've
a
got
man
come
called
from
Jacob.
somewhere,
A
ain't
man
they?
called Jacob.
That's
Yes,
like-
a man called Jacob. You're not listening. We come from a man called Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's where we come from. You remember where you've been born? Here. So you've been educated here. They ain't going to teach you who you are. They're going to hide it from you and tell you that you're black. They told you you're black before, didn't they?
Well, I know I'm black.
Oh, see what I mean?
You don't have to tell me I'm black.
Your coat, his jacket is black. Are you the same colour as that?
Yeah, but that's a silly argument. It's like saying white is white, it's the white of the thing.
Why is it silly?
As a description.
Why is it silly?
You use that as a nearest description.
But why is it silly
to
calling
identify someone?
calling yourself black when you're brown? Isn't that silly?
Well, it's just an easy description.
So why can't they call you brown?
You can call me brown.
No, I'm not saying
mind.
you. I said, why don't the people who called you black? Because you didn't call yourself black.
Yeah,
You
we
was
didn't
called
call
black
them
by your
white then.
enemy.
Who called them white?
They call themselves white.
Can I
Why would they
interject?
call themselves white?
What
Why
does
would
white
they
mean?
call themselves pink and multicoloured?
Oh, there you go. So
Why
what does
would
white
they
mean?
call themselves
He's
that?
not getting
That's
it.
an
I don't think he's
80s
getting it.
argument.
No, right. What I've learned from the world, a lot of what they say, we take it upon ourselves. We are losing ourselves in arguments that we're not supposed to be having, bro. You understand what I'm saying? I know what you're saying.
Anyway, go on. No. What's up? Oh, okay.
It's not English, it's described by the white man. They described it, and they lose themselves very much. White man is English. Yeah, we have to follow things. We have to follow these things, innit? When we are in the white man land, we have to know where it's wrong with us.
The
Exactly.
only way that we can obtain ourselves by being our this is the how it works. Right? Just the right step down.
And then that's where it comes back to people. If I ask you where was your place, you'd say Africa.
Yes.
But we didn't just come from Africa. We didn't just come from Africa. We was in Americas and all them places. They make you think that we was just come from Africa. But we came from Americas, all China, down in India. You know, in India, they got black tribes in India. We was living there before the Indians were living there.
So, end of this
They make you
argument,
think they only come from Africa.
end of this argument, I am citizen of the world.
Well, yeah, we are the citizens
Why?
of the
Why?
world.
Because you just said that we came from everywhere.
No, we didn't. We were scattered. The curses was
just came from Africa. Yes, brother.
The curses was, bro.
Having a nice debate.
The curses were we'd be scattered everywhere.
That's the curse.
Right, that's one of the curses. It tells you we'd be scattered among all nations. Right? Originally, our land.
Understand fully why we came from the
Why do we have to be scattered? We're nomadic people. Because you know we was hitting the jet stream down in Africa to go to America long before Columbus went there.
Can I ask you one question now? That question is very, very valid. You know a lot about the Quran myself.
I've got the Quran there. I don't really study it that much because I study the Bible.
The question now is, does the Quran say that we are cursed people? You understand? Because the Bible says we are cursed people. True of these and all nation people because of our curse. Okay? Because of our curse doesn't say Quran. Because it would make it more.
I don't think they would say they don't believe in cursing. They don't believe in you have to have sin to get anywhere. Like, or sacrifice. You don't have to sin or sacrifice, or your sins you have to finish. There's none of that in the Quran. They don't go that way. They just believe if you believe in Allah, the one God, and you behave yourself and you live by the ways of that, it'll welcome you in. You don't have to sacrifice or those stuff like that.
This is James 1:1, and it says here, James, the servant of God and of the one they call Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which were scattered abroad. During the persecution when we was in Jerusalem, that's our motherland, not Africa. Africa is named after a Roman general, Leo Scipio Africanus. When he conquered that region, when they went there, the Greeks called it Afrique. This is where the term Africa comes from. It means not cold. So when they went there, they said this place is Afrique, not cold. Yeah. So the people of the land, they called them Africans after Leo Scipio Africanus. He conquered that region in the Second Punic War when he beat Hannibal. Yeah. So it was named after. Just like America's named after Amerigo Vespucci. Right? Right? So what it is, it tells you, Psalms 49 and 11 tells you that this man would name the lands after himself. So when we got conquered, they said, right, now you are Africans. In that land now it's called Africa. That land is the land of Ham. Because you know that Noah had 3 sons. No, the Cush is a name of
Ethiopia.
That's a name of that's a Greek name. No, it's not. It's not. Greek. It's a when the Greeks.
Loads of names, hasn't it?
What? No, it's the land of Ham. Its original name is the land of Ham.
No, I'm not saying it. I don't want to know the original. I'm just saying you said loads of names.
But would you want to know the original?
No,
because off of the original they branched off.
Yeah, I like your history lesson.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you said many, isn't it?
Yeah, but we want to know the real name. If you got many what's the names they give you? Like side names. You know, like they say, big boss, aliases.
Yeah.
What's your real name?
Yeah, it's good to know the real name.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Know the real name.
Because all of them are just aliases.
It's had many names.
Bro, man, I don't think you're going to
hard to dispute what name was the original.
No, but all right, bro. So let's get back into it. This is why we got scattered amongst all nations. Because he said, look, you break my commandments, I'm going to kick you out of the land. And that's what happened to us. Because we are the 12, this is our name. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Whatever prospective tribe we come from, we are Benjamites. That's who we are. This is what God called us. He didn't call us West Indians. West is a direction, and Indios means savage, savages from the west. You've got East Indians, savages from the east. Our conquerors gave us all their names. This is why we get to the bottom of who we are. This is why we're walking around with our heads in our hearts not knowing who we are. The best way to keep the people down is to tell them who they are. And they haven't told us who we are. We are God's chosen people. And everybody, he chose the blacks, Hispanics, and native Indians to be his people on the earth.
Alright, got another question. Don't think we are worse enemies.
Because of the curses. He put curses on us. He said, cursed shall you be in the city, Your wife will be against you. You'll leave the children. This is how we know we're the Israelites.
So how are we going to solve this problem? What are we
Come back. The same way we broke the laws, we come back to them. That's how we come out of it.
So to solve the problem, that we're our own worst enemies, that we can't unite with each other.
I just told you when the curses come. I shall be. Let me get it, because he's not getting it. The curses come upon us. Look, let me show you the curses there.
So how do we break the curse then?
Come back to the laws. We broke the laws, we come back.
What are the laws? What are the laws?
Love thy neighbor. If we went by the second law, love thy neighbor as thyself, we wouldn't be killing each other, would we? That's one of the laws.
I think religion alone, like, is one of the biggest in the world. Religion. War starters, isn't it?
What is that? Religion?
Yeah.
No. You know why? Religion is a Greek word.
No, forget about the word.
Yeah, because
what I'm
you
trying
don't
to
realise
say
the word's the same. What does it mean? What does religion
What I'm
mean?
trying to say is Christians, Muslims,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
religion they was,
No, religion, you know what religion means? It means to hold down, keep back and restrain. It comes from a Greek word, religio. To hold down, keep back and restrain. So who invented religion?
No, what I'm trying to say is a lot of these churches.
When you was on the phone,
Yeah.
one of the points that I was trying to illustrate what was words that these people have given to us that we hold on to that are holding us back because there's more to it than the word.
Thank you. You've got to go to the etymology, the root of the word. Just like today, they say gay. When I say gay to you, what comes to mind?
You should know what gay meant in the beginning. It meant happy, didn't it?
Right, but what is it now?
Well, they took over the word, haven't they?
That's what I mean.
Get taken over, don't
Thank
they?
you. You speak.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to establish.
That's why we have the dictionary.
They've even changed the
Understand what
dictionary
words
though. They've changed it, you've got to go to the etymology dictionary. These Oxford and what, you've got to go to the root words of it. You understand? Because they've modernised, they've got Newspeak, they've modernised everything to hide the original words.
So how do you work this out then?
Internet is the best thing.
Yeah.
Because
You
what
can't
it is,
believe in the internet half of the time as well. You can't believe in
when you go to
Snoop and
when you go to the internet, have you heard of the Rockefellers?
Yes.
Right. What did they say? They regret making the internet. Why?
Knowledge is
Because you can go into the internet and learn everything off there now, because everything's on there. I know you're not supposed to believe everything, but what you do is you pick the bones out of the meat.
So you do your research.
Oh yeah,
So
you have to. I believe books.
They're basically giving you.
I think books
the
will
tools.
be better than the internet.
Books. What's the books? Books. Yeah. That's the magic of the internet, because it gives you the umbrella, but it's for you to sift through the
And then
umbrella.
I understand all these arguments, but I'm going to be the devil advocate. I like to be the devil advocate, yeah? And I believe...
So he's the devilish one.
Yeah, as I say,
Oh, right.
yeah, devil's advocate, yeah? So, I believe, like, we should all be united and getting together. That's my motto.
Of course, there are.
That's what...
United with who? With our people or with everyone?
With everyone.
No, we can't do that. We tried that. We ended up in slave ships, my friend.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to do the same thing over and over again. You're going to repeat it over and over again. You want to go through slavery again?
I think we should
Do
try
you want to be defecated
to
on?
get on with your neighbours. They say
Do
in
you
the
wish
Bible,
to be
in the Bible,
defecated?
it says that,
Bro,
doesn't it?
do you wish to get
Love thy
defecated on?
neighbour.
And who's thy neighbour? Is it Mr.
Could be a
Wobbly?
white guy, could be a Chinese
That's
man
not what
next
it
door,
means.
could be an Indian guy next
it
door.
doesn't mean that, my
Right.
friend. No.
So we should love each other.
I just told you, we tried that. We ended in slave ships.
I don't think we did try that. I don't think we did.
Oh my
I
God.
don't think we have tried
Who
it.
enslaved us?
I don't think we have tried
Who
it. Even
enslaved
with
us,
our
my
own
friend?
people, I don't think we tried it first.
This is Jose. This is what God said to our people. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Everyone in it.
Because
is
thou hast
stupid.
rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou should be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. this is what's happened to us. We've got the law of Christ and we've done to our own understanding. I think we should come together with everybody. The same people that enslaved us. You don't do that.
So
You've got to realise that you've got enemies.
There's no forgiving, forgetting. We can't never forgive.
No, we can't. Not our enemies.
And
We've got
then
enemies.
plus, if I was a white person and I saw this,
Psalms.
I'd get offended.
Are you a white person?
I'm not offended.
No,
but
what are you a white person?
No, I
So why should you be offended against it?
I'm not offended.
Are you offended? Are you offended against that?
I'm not offended.
Are you offended this?
No, of course I'm not. I'm not offended.
Wait a minute.
What I'm trying to
You're
say.
offended against this, but you're not offended against that.
He said I'm offended. I'm not offended now. What I'm trying to say, I'm trying to put myself in a white person's
That's your
shoes,
problem.
Yeah?
That's your problem. Don't try and put yourself in a white person's
What I'm
shoes.
trying to say
Just
is
try and be
they go
yourself, a
past
Hebrew Israelite.
and they see that, it's going to be upsetting.
Why?
Because if we vice versa, say if it's a white guy now standing there,
That's our number one problem. This is our number one problem.
We care.
Huh?
We care.
No, we care how they
Thank you.
see us.
We should care about everyone in the world.
No, you're absolutely right.
No, it's not
Vice
right. We
versa,
should care about our. Why can't we use our people first and then care about?
Okay, but that's the point. I was
Right.
Remember
Yeah.
I came at the beginning, I said I'm the devil's advocate. So say if it was the vice versa, and it was a white guy standing up, and he's advertising some stuff, what was it? A bit inflammatory.
Unfortunately, that's the picture that he's got up there right now. Okay, but then he also has
Yeah, but I'm not talking about this.
No, overstand, because from they see that, from a white man sees that, then you put it in this direction and showing
Jake is finished,
They
bro.
ain't gonna want to
Jake
dialogue.
is done, bro.
Seem like both the bars, they don't even want to. I don't want to cause dialogue. But I should care, because if we're gonna
He didn't want to fight you now. This now.
no, I won't fight no one over that. I'm the devil's advocate.
Oh, okay. So you're the bulletproof vest.
Someone
You're
has to be a devil's
You're
advocate.
a bulletproof vest for the enemy. Yeah?
No.
Yes, you
not
are.
even that.
You are.
I have to be.
No, you don't have to
No,
be.
I don't have to
Be a
but I'm
bulletproof
just
vest
one
for
of
your
today.
people.
Today is.
Don't worry about them because they're not worried about you.
Listen, I
That's
know
what you
that.
got to realise.
I know that for
None
a
of
long
them will
time.
come up here
I'm
and
just
say,
playing
"You're
the
right,
devil's
sir."
advocate, and I'm just saying, as a pastor,
Don't worry about
and
them,
they see
'cause they
that,
don't worry about
'cause
you.
If it was vice versa, and I saw a white guy doing that, I'd pull him up.
Why?
You.
I wouldn't, because I don't expect him to do that, because it's the devil of the Bible when it tells
No,
you.
but I'd put
He's your
him
number
up.
one enemy.
Just the
I know you would.
person
I know you would.
behind.
You don't understand what's happening in the world. You don't who's your enemy?
I ain't got no enemy.
See what I mean? Right, this is what God said. This is Psalms 83.
Try not
And it
to
says,
have done.
"Keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against it. The tabernacles of Edom. The number one man who's against us is Edom. Who is Edom? This is Edom.